Oh, yeah. So in Wealth Code, I talk about when I met with my financial advisor, I really thought I had made it. I was like coming in with my ego. My head was like this. And I was like, here are my numbers. Like I'm good, you know? And he was like, okay. And what are we using this money for? Like, what do you want to do with it? And I just hadn't thought about that. I had chased accumulation as the end goal, that like just having more money in the bank or more
Right.
stocks, a net worth of X, like was by this time was the goal instead of the utility of the money. Like, what is the point of the money? And I think that the truly wealthy understand that money is just a tool for lifestyle choices. Money is a tool for leisure, for freedom,
Yeah.
for fun. And I had to completely reframe for myself, okay, like, well, how much money do I actually need? Like, what am I actually solving for? Am I solving for a month in France every summer? Am I solving for a personal chef? Am I solving for retiring my partner's parents? Am I solving for getting my hair done every 2 weeks? Like, what is it that I want to use this money for? And that completely shifted how I move because now I view money as an unlock to a part of my life that is meaningful, not just to accumulate it for something.
Yep.
That changes everything. I mean, I don't know if it has for you as you've like been thinking about it, but I don't know when people are supposed to be taught to think of money as a tool as opposed to like something to be scared of or something to accumulate. And the difference between being rich and being wealthy is that ability to understand money as a tool and wealth as something that money fuels your passions, money fuels your joy, money fuels your stability, money fuels your wellness. So it's not just getting a nice house and a nice car and being able to wear Gucci, you know, that's rich.
Yeah.
I want to be wealthy.
Yep. I think about I forget what podcast it was in, but they're like you vote for change with your dollar, right? Because like the like you're supposed to use your money to create the world you want to see, right? And kind of to your point with that, when it comes to that wealth building, when you become and when you're allowed to build that wealth, you can actually implement the change that you want. And I really agree with that. And you're kind of talking about making that shift. So how do you kind of break that rich mindset into to shifting to that wealth mindset? Can you break that down and how that works in practice?
Yeah. So the first thing is that there's this misconception that you need to have more money to be wealthy. And I think that's false.
Yeah.
You can be wealthier today with what you already make and spend today, but you have to evaluate how you're spending the money that you have and what are you putting that money to work in a way that's going to reflect your wealth values. So there's a quadrant that's in the book where it's high joy, high cost, low cost. And you want to spend more time in the thing that brings you high joy and is low cost. So for me, that's a morning coffee, right? That's a like perfectly made matcha. That is having time to go for a walk with my son after work. So, what are the things that I can spend in order to have those moments be more consistent in my weekly flow? High joy, high cost is a month in Paris. Okay. So that's something you work towards, right? That's something that you put money away for. That's something you invest in to make that more of a reality. But in the meantime, I don't need to only work on that quadrant. I need to work on the things and incorporate more of those tiny joys into my life every single day, every single week. And that's how I just generally raise my level of happiness and contentment. It's because I'm constantly fueled with these moments of dopamine, these moments of things that bring me a lot of energy that don't cost me much. It's just a choice of how I'm spending my money.
Yeah.
And I think that's important for people to build that muscle.
Yeah, I remember that. That's a great point too. Like that, the high joy, low joy, kind of putting that again. It's all we kind of goes back into data, but it still helps. Like if you can understand where your energy is coming from in any of those moments, you have the ability to better understand how to present yourself, or like you said, create a wealthy mindset in those moments.
Yeah. And I think the other thing that people get wrong is like, they're following the rules again. Like the rules have told us, you go buy that car, you get that bonus, you go buy a car. Like you get that bonus, you go buy some, treat yourself and go to the mall and spend it here. And I'm like, no, like if you don't get joy from the pair of shoes, which
Yep.
maybe you do, there's some people that just like They love the shoes, fine. But if you don't really get joy, if you're just doing that because of how other people will perceive you because you have this item, you've got to work on that relationship, because your actual thing that might be high joy might be something that only you can see. It
Mm.
might be spending more time in the, farmer's market. Like you might be like, I just love the farmer's market. Like, or I just love when I have time to cook and bake and give away cookies to my neighbors. Like it could be something that other people would not value as a reason or a place to spend your money.
Yep.
But it shouldn't matter, right? So like the more you can let yourself move away from how you're being perceived and the judgment of, well, when I hit this thing, how will people know? Because they won't see that I have this big car. Like if you look at me at my house, you wouldn't be able to see. You'd be like, I don't know, she might be doing okay, but like, I don't know how much money she got, And I'm like, I am 3 years away from retiring forever. Like, whether Blappity sells or not, right? And that's important to me because that means I have freedom over my time.
Yep.
I'm not going to retire, but I could if I wanted to,
See, and that's what I'm
right?
talking
And that's important to me. But those are choices that I've made along the way. And so you got to figure out what that is for you. And for everybody, it's going to be different.
If you enjoyed that clip, make sure you head over to www.bookupapp.com to download our app so you can connect with your favorite bookish content creators, start conversations, and start your own book club.